Reactive Training Systems.
So a couple weeks ago, we posted a video where I was talking about increasing the frequency of your training and how to go about that. I think it's important for us to also talk about when that might not be appropriate. In general, I think pushing the frequency of your training is a good idea, it's a good strategy, but this is a long-term strategy. This is something that we do over the course of an athlete's career. We don't push this or push people into this immediately, right away. We don't do it quickly. A few examples of this come to mind. One example that I recently wrote about was Laddie Gibson. Laddie came to us in the early part of 2015 while he was prepping for the 2015 IPF World Championship. Now, for those that don't know, Laddie's a masters lifter. He was already really strong when he came to us. So it's not like we were seeking to develop like unheard of strength levels in this guy or anything like that. He was already a seasoned lifter, already had been doing this, for as long as I have been around, like he's a veteran. So we didn't want to overhaul what he was doing. We wanted to start from a place of effectiveness. So we looked at what Laddie was already doing. He was already training 3 times a week. So let's start there, just have him train 3 times a week. We increased his frequency a little bit, but it wasn't anything drastic. We didn't want to make it so much that he had trouble handling it. So when we increased his frequency, he was able to tolerate it, and his lifts saw some benefits from that. He went to the 2015 World Championship. He won the Masters division in the 83 kilos class, set some world records while he was at it, had a great showing by any measure. Then a few months later, we added 40 kilos to his total at the USAPL Raw National meet. And we did that largely by not changing a whole lot. We didn't really push his frequency any harder than we already had. Our focus was really on recovery. We kept things where they were in terms of training volume, although the training volume went up just a touch. And you can read about what we did with Laddie's training in full detail on the Strength Theory website. We wrote an article about that, and Strength Theory published it earlier this month. So if you haven't already checked it out, you can do that if you want to get the full details of it. But we didn't really push the volume that much. We pushed it a bit. We didn't change the frequency at all. Our focus was really on recovery, and that seemed to be the spark that pushed his total up 40 kilos in like 3 months. And like I said, it's not like Laddie's a new guy. It's not like he's just some young kid who's got a ridiculous amount of talent or anything, although Laddie is clearly extremely talented. He's a seasoned lifter. He's been doing this for a long time, and you normally don't see jumps in progress to that level, but through appropriately manipulating his frequency within the bounds of what he can tolerate as a lifter, he saw some really positive results from that. And another example that comes to mind is a lifter that I'm working with now. He just doesn't seem to be able to tolerate the kind of work that we've been prescribing lately. So one thing that we're having him do is do a bit more aerobic work. At the same time, we're spacing out his training on the whole. We're spacing things out to give him ample time to recover, and we're having him do some things that will help enhance his ability to tolerate volume over the long term. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about aerobic work in the sense of having him go on bike rides or anything like that. For some lifters, that will be appropriate, and for others, that's going to be inappropriate. So we want to select means and methods that are tailored to him as a lifter, as an individual, that are going to enhance his work capacity, enhance his ability to tolerate work, to do and recover from work, so that he can tolerate the amount of training that he's going to need to reach the next level.
Reactive training systems.